Welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss Lilith and all of the astrological zodiac signs. So we've already gone through the houses, guys, where I talked about how it stifles you, it makes you not so confident in a given area of life when it comes to your houses. So when Lilith Black Moon now shows up in a zodiac sign itself, the major traits of that sign make you feel sort of reluctant to use them in your current life. So wherever you see Lilith is actually where you need to more so exemplify the traits that she's asking you to exemplify, and don't actually hold it back. So I'm going to go into that in some more detail today. This is like the last Lilith sort of video now. It's like part 3. But if you guys do have any questions regarding it, let me know in the comments, but we're going to get right into it. So Lilith in Aries, first off, just means that you're somebody who may have a hard time taking on leadership roles and may have a problem with people that do take on leadership roles without apology. Meaning people that like just want to take charge in social circles or in business, you may look at them sort of like, wow, you're a bit too aggressive for my liking, and you may have a problem showing those aggressive sort of characteristics within yourself. What you have to understand is that the Aries is a cardinal sign that's necessary to actually sort of have that forthright ability to take control, to take charge, to innovate, and to create. So you need those sort of traits in order to actually be successful in your life. So make sure that you are standing by those aggressive traits, those traits of being territorial, of having your own ideas, and really being just one with yourself. Okay, moving on, we have Taurus. Black Moon Lilith in Taurus exemplifies people who have a hard time getting their own values. So it means like you may be scared of becoming too materialistic, and you might be scared of people's opinion of what that would look like if you were materialistic. When you have Lilith here, she actually wants you to be more materialistic. She wants you to get your money, have your nice things, take good care of yourself, have exotic and luxurious things around you, and not feel ashamed of it. Lilith's main thing is all about shame and being dominated by something else or somebody else, another entity. So what Lilith wants you to do is actually be the dominant person that you're meant to be. And if you feel like you want nice things, then get nice things. If you value money, then get money. But it's just really about taking control of your life in the material aspect standpoint and not letting other people get in your way. Next, we have Lilith in Gemini. Black Moon Lilith in Gemini just simply means that you cannot be scared of your own intellectualism, and you can't be scared of talking too much or too little. What happens is a lot of people that have this here don't realize how smart they really are, and what they'll do is they'll either just talk not enough to people, so people just don't understand like what they're about, what they know, or they're going to be somebody who just talks too much and is just sort of like an intellectual narcissist. They're just talking, and it's kind of hard to just get them to shut up. So what you want to do is more so find that fine line in the middle where you understand your intellectualism, you understand how to utilize it, and you don't need to compensate by over communicating, but you don't need to be too shy and withdrawn either. Okay, next one we have is Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. When we get it in Cancer, guys, what this has a lot to do with is actually just respecting your boundaries, especially amongst family and friends. So you really need to understand that your emotions and so forth matter. A lot of people that have this here are really scared of showing their emotions, or they're scared of like what their family might think of them if they be their real self. So when Lilith is trying to say is that you need to be your real self in order to be authentic and be successful in life. That's how you get clout. The clout is really just being your most authentic self and then being recognized for it. So you need to actually be that person in order to be successful within your life, and that's what Lilith is here to actually show you. Moving on, next we have Black Moon Lilith in Leo. In Leo, it's all about performance and more so just really showing what you can do in regards to your skill set. Leo's also very much in a leadership role, the same way in which Aries is, and being fixated on a certain purpose or idea and not being ashamed of it. So Lilith, when it's here, it makes people have a hard time finding their real grand purpose in life, find that so-called passion. And what you need to do is actually understand that your passion means more than anything else in your life. What matters most is yourself, and then what yourself is what your passion or your purpose or your goal really is. That's how you personify yourself in the real physical realm. So without having that grand purpose and finding grounding in that, you're not going to have much of a self-identity. Your main concept in life should actually be to have that self-identity and to pursue it regardless of what other people are saying. Okay, next one we have Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. This makes a lot of people that have this here, people view them as extremely meticulous, like sort of like they're overly opinionated, or they're just too much into details. The thing about it is that fine-tuned detail analysis is what's necessary for life. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to actually construct grand structures. You need to have a very good, keen eye. People will call you a nitpicker. People are going to say that you're too picky, maybe that you're selfish, maybe that you're covetous. All of these random things will come about when you have Lilith here. It's all about being shamed and ridiculed, right? And being put out there saying you're not part of the group or you're not conforming with what the norm is. That's fine. If you're somebody who's very detailed and you want to be very detailed, then do that. Sorry guys, I have so much insects out here. I'm just waving them away. But yeah, if you want to actually be that person that looks at finer details, you got to be that person. It's important, and it's actually what makes grand structures come about. Next, we have Black Moon Lilith in Libra. This is all about companionship and then looking for what we don't have in other people. So it's very similar to what we discussed in the 7th house. Difference here is that Libra is going to make it a little more pronounced, where there's a really offset balance within your relationships. So you want to make sure is that you're presenting a certain amount of value, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever, and you're actually giving forth those traits and then making sure you're receiving them in the process as well. Without actually giving and taking, then the relationship will not be healthy, and it'll be viewed as what we call in the 20s toxic, right? So you just want to make sure that you are giving and taking in the relationship, and that's not just a one-way road. Moving on, next we have Lilith in Scorpio, which is a very interesting one, because when we were discussing the 8th house, this is where Lilith really found a home and was very comfortable. When it comes to Scorpio, there's a little bit of slight differences. It just simply means that you're going to be somebody who really wants to have intimate relations with other people, and you're kind of scared to show your real emotions. You're a bit withdrawn in that sense, and it makes you come across as very like mysterious, and some people might be thrown off by you. But the main concept here is that Lilith is sort of like force you to like always hold in your emotions, but your real bridge to success and having a brighter future is actually showing your emotions, using your emotions, and going fully into projects that you undertake and having that emotional component behind them. You already have a very logical brain, but if you could put the emotional component behind it, you can then construct or manifest something that people have never really seen. Okay? Moving on, next we have Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. When we have it here, it's all about the traveling, the finer things in life, the beauty, the intellectualism, similar to Gemini. But there's slight differences here where it comes to, people might view you as a bit of like a voyager, somebody who's not really content being in one place, somebody who is just not really forthright in what they're doing, like they're not fixated on it. Your main thing here is to actually, don't be afraid to find your freedom. Don't be afraid to come out of this security zone and actually get into those Sagittarian traits of being more of a free-loving person, living in the moment, being mindful and being thankful and grateful for what you actually have right now, and just living from moment to moment. A lot of people that have Lilith here are going to have the polar opposite of the Sagittarius traits. They're going to be people that plan everything out. They're going to be people that just want to write their whole day out and make sure that every fine-tuned detail is accounted for. You got to let certain things happen. You got to learn to go with the flow the way the Sagittarius does, and learn and be optimistic about your environment and about the world. Without having those things there, you're not going to have a very great life. It's going to be sort of cynical and just pinpointed on getting certain things done. It's effective, but at the same time, you need balance. All right? Moving on, next we have it in Capricorn. We have Lilith here. It's all about being scared of being too money-oriented, success-oriented, goal-oriented. Maybe when it comes to even being in marriages, you're too focused on your career. They're going to say that your wife or your husband or your family, whatever, they're going to say you're too focused on success and that's all you care about, and you don't focus on family and putting family first, blah, 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 blah. What you need to understand here is that your success and yourself needs to come first. And if you have Capricorn here, it's tough. Saturn is a component in this as well. So it's going to make your success sort of not slow, but it's going to make it so your mind wants to more so appease to other people. You're not applauding yourself, and you're not actually giving to yourself what you need in the materialistic realm. So make sure that you do find balance between love and family and the materialistic realm in regards to getting money and like just like with Taurus, getting nice things. But more so with when it's in Capricorn, it's about having that sort of status, being that person that has security and has more so trust the process and gets things done. It doesn't want you to be like that. Lilith is going to try to make you find ridicule when you're like that, be shamed, and be pointed out. You cannot be afraid of these things. These situations, I can't provide a cheat code for avoiding them. You have to go into them. In a fight, there's always fight or flight, and sometimes you just have to go straight into that fight to overcome it and move on to the next one. All right? Moving on, next we have Lilith in Aquarius. Aquarius is just all about the community, group dynamic. So when you find Lilith here, it's really about just being afraid of being an outcast within a group. Your friendship groups and your immediate family, even your community, might view you as a black sheep if you decide to go your own way, whether that be through what kind of relationship you enter with an intimate other or your career of your choice. these things are going to provide a bit of an obstacle for you, but in both circumstances, you need to just go with what your heart and your gut's telling you, and you're actually going to find contentment within that. If you go with what your immediate community is telling you, you will not find contentment, and you're going to be very resentful for the rest of your life. Last but not least, we have Lilith in Pisces. The Piscean nature is very, very spiritual, very compassionate, very super empathetic. And what Lilith wants you to do is be a cold-hearted, rigid, cynical, sort of atheist sort of person. There's nothing wrong with being atheist. But if you naturally do believe in a higher power or creativity or just something that's bigger than us, then Lilith is going to try to make it so your family, your friends, the people around you, even just your own mind is going to tell you like that's not logical. If I can't see it, it's not real. Might doesn't make right. All these other excuses are going to come in your head. What you want to do is actually focus on what you're really feeling within your intuition. And I'd recommend practicing meditation, mindfulness, staying very hydrated, drinking like 4 liters of water a day to really activate the pineal gland so you can find your own answers. Lilith is going to try to block here a lot. Your sixth chakra, you want to open that. You want to open that third eye and then be able to find your grand purpose and the archetypal self that you're meant to be in this given time. All right? So that does conclude it all for the zodiac signs, guys. If you guys do have any questions whatsoever, like I said, please let me know in the comments. If you have any recommendations for me in regards to astrology or numerology, let me know in those comments. Aside from that, guys, like, subscribe. Follow me. It's for today, guys. Peace.